Oh, look at my face. I'm scratching. Hey, YouTube. Hey, Facebook. And hey, IG. All right, so it seems like as we kind of all over the place tonight. So, guys, I don't know what Alexa doing to me with this royalty-free music. So it is Wednesday. Thank you for joining me. YouTube, guys, if you guys see me turning my head a lot, it's because, you know, I'm looking at multiple screens. And I want to, if I see something pop up, if I see a question or anything, I kind of want to be able to answer it. But thanks for jumping on with me tonight, y'all. Let me make sure this chat is on. All right, let's go with the live chat so I can see if something comes. Hey, Tavana. Who we got over here? Sprinkles and Sparkles and Karen. Hey, Angie. Hey, Karen. Hey, Tamika over here on Facebook. So, guys, I told you I will be starting Posh Late Night Biz up again. And so here we are for Posh Late Night Biz. Those of you, because I'm on all of the platforms that I have other than TikTok, because you guys ain't helped me get there yet. But I'm on all of the platforms. So if anyone, especially on IG, that is probably new to the platform or new to the Posh Academy, I am Precious Stevens of the Posh Academy. And what I do, I pretty much help you make your draping look good by any means necessary, whether that's through education, equipment, fabric, tips, tricks, resources, the whole nine, not to mention price. So that's me, right? That's what I do. So if that's something like up your alley, I know some of you guys probably like jump on like, who this girl? She a little cute, but I just told you who I was. So if that fits the bill, then stay along, because tonight I'm going to be answering some questions from my tribe members. Right now, these guys have been asking these questions periodically on a form that we create. And sometimes when people get or they request to join my Facebook group, one of the prompts is they got to ask a question. So that's not for no, you know, I know y'all probably like, why she asked me this question? Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to join my group. I don't want you to join my community if I can't help you. These questions really help me create different things, different solutions, different products, different programs, different classes, different tutorials, different tips, different everything, right? So it's important for me to ask these questions because it also helps me come up with great content. So now that I got that out the way, tonight is Posh Late Night Biz. Unfortunately, I will not be able to stay with you guys long because y'all know we knee deep in prepping for this tour, right? Not to mention, guess what, guys? Did I tell y'all my fabric came? I know I ain't tell y'all because I haven't been live. I haven't really had a chance to go live. Like, I just been knee deep in this fabric because I kind of told y'all a week ago I went in a little nuts. I went on a little shot and spree. So yeah, I got a little overwhelmed when it finally got here, and it took 2 trips for it to get here. It was just that much. But what I'm super excited about is the colors. They're beautiful, right? Like everybody was bringing them in, and I'm just steady looking at the colors and the textures because that's. So with that being said, we have many different backdrops that I started prepping my backdrops like Monday. So I think I'm up to like 8. Which realistically I only need 2 more for us to fulfill our class for Monday. But when the stuff came in today, I kind of changed my mind a little bit. So it kind of, you know, I got to go and play with some more fabric because I want to use some of the stuff we had. So point is, it's still a lot that needs to be done. And not to mention finishing shirts, finishing toolkits, all that good stuff. And then y'all kind of was like blowing me out the water with these mystery boxes. Thank you guys for showing and spreading the love and all that good stuff. I'm so glad that you guys like what you had. I told you guys I was going to make the boxes better and make them more valuable, right? Like you can actually pair them with some other things and create an actual masterpiece. I kept my word, and obviously I did because y'all like what you got. So that made me feel super excited about creating some more. I told you guys we would be creating more, and how it's going now, I pretty much just pre-create them, right? Because there's no way I can sit in here. I could, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit in here and have to create 70 boxes in one day. So what we do now is we just keep a certain amount on demand. So right now we have maybe about 50. And then I'll package them the same way I've been packaging them, but I'll leave a little note on the outside of the box to kind of give me an idea what's in it. Because once I package it up, baby, I don't know what's in there. So if you guys come with these random requests, I'm like, girl, I don't know what's in there. That's the whole beauty of it being a mystery box. But y'all know me. I'm going to try and give you what you want. So if you ask for red or something and I see that I have one, then by all means, I have no problem making sure that you get that box. So with that being said, we definitely have now about 50 mystery boxes out. I will not be, as after Monday, I won't be doing any you guys will get an email about it. We won't be processing any mystery boxes or anything like that because we won't be here. We'll be totally full throttle focused on the tour and focused on those classes and making sure that we're 1,000% there in class, right? So tonight, girl, Keisha, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Now, some of them, y'all know, sometimes I gotta like play with some stuff. So some of the colors, I just went out on a limb. I was like, let me just see what this look like. And some of them I was kind of happy, and some of them I was like, nah. Not that I wasn't happy. It's just by the time it came, it didn't look like it fit in a spring collection. So I'm just pretty much gonna hold that off until back when we get back down the line. So now I see how we're doing this. I'm just going to be rolling out different collections every season. So it's funny because that wasn't clearly what I was thinking about doing before. I wasn't. But now I'm seeing the importance of knowing like what the colors, not only just colors, but also textures too, right? So I hope y'all are watching the YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel because next month's content is going to be all geared around that, helping you realize what colors to use a lot of during this season, and then which ones you kind of want to stay away from unless it's highly requested, unless your person just want it. Okay, cool, give them what they want. But not only that, but also textures, right? Now y'all know, some of you guys know anyway, I was going hard about my 5 blends. I was like, you got to use these 5 blends. You got to use these 5 blends. And I still do say that because that's just, that's how I come up with my masterpieces. But I've been exploring some other stuff, y'all, right? And I'm going to be introducing some other stuff to the mix. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple. I ain't going to give it all away, because I got to create my stuff first so I could create not only my masterpiece, but I got to tell you exactly how to do it and how. The reason why I focus so much on creating bundles and backdrops in a box is because I know how I know how to save a coin. So that is super important. I know how to save a coin. So I know how to help you achieve the best look without spending the most money. So I'm now playing with some different blends. Some ones at first like, I don't feel like doing all that. I don't feel like doing all that. But now I've been introduced. One of the companies I've partnered with, or one of my suppliers rather, have really introduced me to some new stuff, y'all. Some stuff I never drape with. I was like, I don't want to use that. But girl, I swear to God, I'm trying to tell you, just be on the lookout. So especially next month. So April, all the content around April. I mean, the YouTube channels, the emails, the blogs, because I am back to blogging. If you guys haven't seen or don't know, your girl's back to blogging. All that content is going to be surrounded around the season, right? The colors, the textures, what not to get, how to save a coin, because at the end of the day, it's all about saving the coin, but still keeping the value and the quality of producing great work. So be on the lookout for that, right? Be on the lookout for that. Still had the video on how to install a crown draping. Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but yes, I do. But none of my like tutorials, individual tutorials, I don't release them honestly until Black Friday. Other than that, they kind of stay in the archive unless I kind of just want to jump something out there. Because I pretty much put everything into one program. So I really don't focus on the one tutorials, things like that, unless you're in the YouTube membership. Those guys get a tutorial every month. Or something like that. But I don't want to, it's just too much work involved with promoting one tutorial, but I 21. But one of the things I'm gonna answer these questions tonight, but one of the things also is if you guys, because we're creating new stuff going forward, and if you guys is something that you would like to see, whether it's on the YouTube channel, like a quick tip or something that you just you cannot get around. You like, I don't know how she do it, or I don't know how they do it. And you like, I just need this one tip to save my life. I posted a link in the comments. That's a forum. All you gotta do is go to the forum. And if you want to stay anonymous, you could, but it'd be really helpful if you just click the link in the forum. It's in the description. And the forum actually, I think 3 questions. And it'll actually like, what's something you would like to see on YouTube? What's a cool tutorial you would like to see? And what is your biggest draping issue? What's the biggest issue you having around draping, right? Now, I don't know what it is. I think since draping has become so prominent, not to say it wasn't around because it was, but now it's like a big thing. And it's just honestly, it ain't even really maximized yet. It's like everybody's just like kind of on it. But this thing is really about the blow. I want to think I had something to do with that. I do want to think that, but it's really about the blow. And what I'm seeing, because I've been doing my research since I've been in this thing, which was 3 years ago. I've always asked questions. That was how I pretty much shaped my entire business. And the questions are changing. Like people, at first it was like repetitive, and I would get tired of asking questions because y'all would ask the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, y'all ask the same thing. Not only that, y'all ask different people the same question. And I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. But now some of the questions are like totally different. And these questions even got me thinking. I'm like, I never even thought that somebody would have an issue with that. So, guys, the questions are very, very, very helpful. And on YouTube, over here on YouTube, it looked weird because I'm looking sideways and it looked weird. But over here on YouTube, let me see if I can split a screen. The form is in the box also. I mean, in the description also. Let me see if I can do two screens at one time. Nope, it's not letting me do it. Nah, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so it's in the description. It's a form in the description. All you gotta do is fill out the form, ask your most pressing question, and it will end up on a night like this because this is the same. You can't see it because of my lights, but these are the same questions I ask, and my intentions are very real, like to go live and answer these questions, because not only even if you're not here live and you ask this question, not only will you eventually see it, it also will help so many other people that's watching the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. Or y'all know how some of y'all is. They'll be like, I want to ask that question, but I don't want to put my hand up. You know how students be in class like, I hope somebody else asks that question because I don't want to put my hand up. Yeah, I know that some of y'all down there. Don't play. Hey Angie, you want to know what? Girl, I was so mad. So I do still have some orange sequin, right? And it's really pretty because it's really bold. But I didn't order no more because I had some. And when I was looking through my rolls, y'all know I cut through my rolls. I had some more. They brung today. I was like, I gotta look at my invoices because I don't remember ordering no more. So the answer to your questions, and yes, I do have a lot, baby. I have a lot. I'm trying to tell you guys, we roll every bit of, I don't know, 150, 160 rolls over there. And this, y'all know me, I get a little overwhelmed when things get a little like crowded. So I don't know. I'm still trying to find a solution to that one because it's an eyesore. It's a real eyesore. So yes, Angie, I do have it. Good one, Tavana. Savannah, hold that question because I do want to get through these ones first. I want to get through these ones first. So if you guys have any questions, now I can't promise that I will get to them this short because once my young ladies leave and finish their shift for the night, I got to hit too, so I can finish what I got to do for the tour. I mean, get these backdrops ready and pack the rest of these toolkits and stuff. So I'm gonna run through these questions and see if you guys have any questions. So some of these questions are anonymous. So if I don't say the name, it's either they didn't want me to say their name or they didn't leave their name, which is totally cool because at the end of the day, guess what? It still is a great question. And I'm quite sure it's going to help somebody out there. I don't know who this Facebook user is either, but that's a good question. But I'm going to answer it. So those of you that's over here on the StreamYard, if you guys do not, StreamYard requires you to sign up or do something so that I can see these questions, like stuff like this. It's not going to show me who you are unless you register through StreamYard. But I'm gonna answer it if I could get to it. But if I can't, guys, I'm trying to tell you, fill out the form. That's why I created the form, because you never know when I'm gonna make time to answer them. But at the end of the day, I promise to answer them in my fullest, my most total, honest opinion. It's not to say that my answer is right or wrong, but I'm gonna tell you what I do, and hopefully it'll work for you too. So we're gonna go with Carla. Carla is that? Carla was my baby from. Is that Detroit or Chicago? It was one of them cold tours when we was in the snow, and Carla was up there tripping us out in class. So Carla asks, how do you find the right audience for premium draping and keep them? Key word is keep them. I've tried adjusting the demographics on social media in which I get a lot of likes and loves and a few inquiries. Any tips? That's a good one. Oh, that's Karen. That's my baby Karen. Hey, Karen Sawyer. Okay, so any of you guys got any I know a lot of you guys, how is that working for you guys? A lot of you guys have been investing heavily in your business, right? I see it. I see it all up and down my timeline. And sometimes I just be sitting there like a proud mother. Some of y'all never even been in my class, but y'all stay in my DMs. So it makes me feel like a proud mother. I like, look at them. It's exciting. I'm trying to tell you, it's exciting. So with what I would say is me, it wasn't necessarily finding the right audience. First, I had to segment the people I was already working with, right? And this is what I was taught when I was first learning marketing and learning how to transition out of that whole bargain basement Betty thing, because I was very quick. I'm like, this can't be it. This ain't gonna work, right? So when I was transitioning out of that, I was looking for marketing strategies and I was learning and I was researching. And realistically, everything I kind of heard at the time, you don't want to hear that because you just be like, that's a lot of work. It sound like Charlie Brown, want. I just want to know, where's my $1,000 client, right? Or where's my $10,000 client, or whatever your service is. At that time, for me, for a backdrop, my goal was $1,000 at the end of the day. Like, I wasn't doing no more 300, 400, 500. I wasn't doing it because it was just too much work. I was frustrated, and I knew I deserved $1,000. I did. So what I started doing, I tell you guys this all the time, is I would segment and I would research the people I was working with, right? So every now and then, even when I was just starting out, I don't know, maybe it was my personality. I don't know, girl, but I would attract these amazing people. Like, I would have some amazing people I work with, and they would just be like, "Precious, go with it," right? We wouldn't be sitting here marking stuff off of our invoices. It was none of that. It was, okay, that's what you charge. Okay, cool. How about, can we add this? Can we add that? When I start saying them kind of people, I'm like, baby, where more people like you at? So at that time, I was asking them questions. I was asking like, what, because people shop around, right? They shop around. I still shop around. Before I like, look, what you got? Let me see your receipts before I go ahead and submit this invoice, because people be scamming. They do. I ain't gonna lie, they do. So I would sit there and I would ask them questions. I would ask them like, why did they choose me? A lot of you guys don't want to do the work. And I'm trying to tell you, it's not all about landing your next $1,000 client or $5,000 client or $10,000 client. Like, you're not going to be able to do so unless you know how to do it. The only way you're going to know how to do it is research. Market research is a very, very, very real thing. So I would sit there and research, and I would survey. Like, even when I'm coaching people, I tell them like, you have to go do this. Like, we not go to the next port. We can't get to the next part until you go survey the people you've worked with. You have to have at least one customer, one client that you loved working with, right? Once you find that one, that's like liquid gold. I would sit there and pick their brain and ask them all the questions that I was taught to ask them. And that was how I was started developing my avatar. I know a lot of these terms, y'all probably like, oh my God, here she go with the avatar, but it's real. I'm trying to tell you, it is real. When I was out there, it was like I was throwing rocks, but just hoping it land, right? And then but it was landing on bargain basement Betty. And I would do the work, and then I would be frustrated. And I'm like, So when I started learning why people was attracted to, what was it about my services? For one, they would always say I was professional. They would always say my work was, they just fell in love with my actual work. I always showed up. I always was very, like, what do you call it? They would call it approachable. Like, you guys always, I ask y'all all the time, like, why me, boo? Y'all say I'm relatable. I'm easy. You can learn easy with me. Like, all this stuff, it helps me position my business a lot better, because I can't walk around with blindfolds on. Like, I don't know why people in my class, they just here. No, it's like, I need to know why people are in my class, so I now can go find the other, the 1,000 other current Sawyers. She was in class. I could say about a good 30, 40, maybe, looking at the names, probably all y'all was in my. But like, I would sit there and I would study you guys. Like, even when you ain't know it, I was like, oh, okay, let me see. Like, when I'm speaking, what is it that got them nodding their head? Like, what is it that they're actually relaying to? You have to do the work. So even when I was on Draping, I would create things that was pushing the envelope. That's how I got into the stuff I do. I didn't learn the techniques I do. I did that plan it. The stuff I learned, you don't see me designing what I learned. For one, that's not my style of draping. I'm cool with the techniques. They were great, but the actual design, that's not me. So I had to develop my own thing, and I had to make it in such a way where people like, oh my God, I want that. Oh my God, I need that. Right. But I had to find out what do they want about it. Right. So if you guys are doing out here doing, it could be balloons. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care if you sit there and spend 5 hours on some daggone balloons. I can tell, and everybody else can too, that's out there looking for a balloon artist. They can tell who's using quality balloons and who going to the dollar store. Y'all think it don't matter, but baby, it do. They can tell who's using, I don't know what double stuff is, but they can tell when something looks very polished and it look like it's demanding that coin, or somebody is just really trying to make it. I just did videos on that this week. I'm trying to tell you, some people think you don't got to look the part. Yes, you do. To some degree, you do. Like, why would I want it what you have? Like, if you look like you don't care about your business, why would I? Like, y'all think it don't matter. Not y'all that's listening, but I'm just people. Some people think it don't matter. Oh yeah, look, I'm out here running and I'm running and ripping too, baby. But at the end of the day, I know when I put it on, I'm in full attitude. And I know I'm going to crush that entire day because it does something to my energy, right? When I'm sitting here and I'm running around, I'm like, oh my God, all right, I'm just going to barely make it today. But guess what? I'm going to push through. That's what I did. I just barely pushed through because mentally I already told myself that's what I was going to do. And so at the end of the day, that's kind of how you got to position your business, right? You got to find out where these people at. A lot of people, it was funny because me and my content creator, I love her so. I do. I love her. I haven't had a content creator like I do now. And it was funny because I know my audience. I know I don't talk, even though somebody 18 may be on my live, that is not my ideal client. I'm not saying I ain't got nothing for her, but she's not my ideal client. She's a customer. Now, I have something that she wants, and I, by all means, can sell her what she wants. But that's not the kind of client that I want to work with, because my kind of clients are older. They done tried the thing. They tied up the thing. They ready to invest in the solution. Normally around in your early 20s, and especially if you're just getting into the business, you're going to try to do everything yourself. You're like, you know what? I got it. You know what? I'm going to try and figure it out. I can't work with them. I cannot. I tried it. I can't work with them. So I'm going to speak differently to someone that's older as opposed to someone that's younger. Everything about my business and my copy and what I say and my language and my verbiage is going to be different. So it's about, when you're talking about attracting a higher buyer, for one, you got to know who is that higher buyer. Because it's not to say that 18 and 20-year-olds ain't out here spending that coin, because they are. But you got to be clear on who you are serving. And then when you find out who you're serving, you got to find out why they buying. What are the reasons why they're buying? And then make sure that your business, like when they're walking down the cereal aisle and it's all these boxes of cereal, you got to make sure that yours is the one that want to stand out and be like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. I want that one. I want that one. Hey, Kimmy Kim, Monica. Okay, so I know you're going to probably catch this later, call if you ain't there. I hope that kind of made sense. Adaptability, baby. Say it again, Tavana. That's called being original, transparent. Absolutely. Oh my God, my first live, I've always missed them. Vera, see y'all be playing. Didn't I tell you turn your notifications bell? But baby, you got to turn on your notifications bell. A lot of you guys think just because you subscribe to the channel that YouTube going to tell y'all that your girl live. YouTube don't do that until you turn on your notifications bell. Then guess what? YouTube will send you an email. It's going to be like, guess what? Precious Stevens and Porsche Academy is live. You better get on over there. And then I told you guys I'm gonna be doing Posh Late Night Biz again because, for one, I love it, I like it, and it's a good way for us to connect, right? I've been all over the place, but I've been building and sowing seeds, right? So when y'all see all these amazing things happening, and that's why, because when your girl disappear, I ain't laying down nowhere. I'm laying down them seeds. I'm just trying to tell you. Okay, so the next question is it better to price just drapes per square foot or per panel? I do add in the cost of equipment, labor, and delivery as well before I give the quote, which is one price. Okay, good question. It's funny because I just did a mastermind on this. So I don't do that no more. It's not really a right and wrong way. I think at the end of the day, once you come up, long as you come up with your decent number, like how the Americans teach math one way, but then Chinese teach it a different way. But at the end of the day, they come up with the same number. But with one, it may take them 20 minutes to come up with it, and someone else, it may take them 5 minutes. See, me, I ain't got a lot of patience. I ain't gonna lie. I tried to fight that thing for a long time. That's just not one of my character traits, right? That's just not something I'm great at. So I'm always trying to not only want to find a solution, but I'm trying to buy as much as my time as possible. So I no longer price according to width, length, amount of drapes. I don't, that's too much. It's too much. So since I've been on this pricing thing for so long, I've created a simple, easy pricing method, right? Super easy. And now the way that I teach pricing it's just a lot more simple. But first you gotta adapt the design concept, right? Because if you don't understand the way I design and how I package my designs, you're not going to understand the pricing concept. So that's why I don't really talk about pricing, because I would have to teach both of them for you to grasp one. If I tell you, oh yeah, just go package them up like your basic, your premier, and then your premium, you're like, what the heck she just say? So I don't really get into pricing because it's just a real intricate thing, right? It's a real intricate thing. Then I can go out there all day and tell you, oh yeah, that backdrop is $17.50, and you're like, what? Huh? How that happen? And I'm like, you don't understand the mechanics behind my pricing, right? It's a lot that goes into pricing. It's a lot of mental stuff. It's a lot of goals. Like my goals may not be the same as yours, so it's different. And then it's all about, like, I'm right now in Atlanta, right? When I was in Baltimore, it was totally different. Pricing was different compared to some of the other places that I teach. So a lot of this stuff you got to take in consideration. And that's why I'm not the one to say, all right, this is the pricing strategy, boom. Because this is a service. It's totally different from pricing a product. Now, how you would price a product, oh, it's a formula for that all day. This is not a product. This is a service. My service may cost a little more than yours because I'm the draping queen. You know, I had to say that. But my price may be a little different. And someone, let's just say, that been in it longer than me, or that has that crown as well, whatever, or an instructor, their price point may be different because they have been in it longer, or their credibility could be strong, possibly stronger. I haven't met one yet, but y'all know I be on my stuff. But that takes accountability, right? So even when I am in the thing and I know I'm transitioning and I'm growing, I don't just jump up there like some people do though. I don't just jump up there like, all right, look, I'm your $20,000 coach right now because I know I'm worthy. I like, hold on, I've been doing this, hold on, and I know this, and you got to really walk in that thing and be confident. And if you're not confident in knowing that is what you deserve and that's your price point, and all these other factors help you get your price point, you're not going to deliver it that way. You're going to deliver it in a way that says, I don't know if you should pay me that. And guess what? You run across somebody like me, I ain't gonna pay you. I'm gonna talk you down just because. For one, I'm a boost builder, right? I always trying to boost people morale or self-esteem, just because it just feels good when people shift and it's just something happened to their shoulders or something. When you kind of force them to face fear, and you just force them to face it. And I'm like, well, why would you price it like what are you thinking about? And I can't explain it, but I'm the one that say, hey, 1 + 1 is 2, because there's so many things factor into service-based businesses. That's why when people be out here comparing packages, I'm like, what are y'all doing? you can't base your business off what they doing. Now they could give you a good base, right? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them that was looking on people's website. Oh, she trying that? I'm like, oh, I got this all wrong. I tried to tell you. I was like, oh, I got this all wrong. But for me, that's all it was information. Now, once I have the information, I'm free. I feel free to do what I want. I never am the one to take information like, oh, I'm going to do it just like this. Nah, that don't feel right. Like, it has to be me all the way through that thing, right? It got to be everything about me, everything that I'm aspiring to do, everything I got to pay for. My expenses may be $80,000 a month, where someone else's is $10,000. Like, now you see why mine would be what it is. So I hope that answered the question, because I get asked this question so many times and I really can't go into detail unless I'm actually in a training session, because it starts way back. It starts way back with mindset, and you got to know that you are worthy. For one, you don't know you worthy, you're going to keep talking like a pep squeak for a very long time until it finally hits you, right? It'll just hit you. You're like, oh, you know what? And you're gonna go home frustrated, right? When you go home frustrated, Lord, too many times you get to slamming doors and slamming refrigerators and stuff like that, then you're gonna want to fix the problem. But you can't just fix the problem by just creating zeros to whatever you already charging. Like, you gotta go and really do some other work. And that'll help you just, when you say your prices, like, this is what it is. And if somebody say no, it won't even bother you. It's like, okay, cool. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. It ain't gonna be no, oh well, let's negotiate. Nah. This is what it is. And then once you get used to, and I used to say this back then, you have to get used to saying a quick no before you say a long yes, or pause when you say yes. Like, if I got to sit there and think about something before I could just say, yeah, that's okay, cool. I ain't doing it, because that little fire in my belly, it didn't let me this far. I'm quite sure it ain't going to fail me now. So I'm so quick. Sometimes too quick. Nope, I ain't doing that. We ain't doing that today. I'm trying to tell you, I think I've been playing when I say I done lived too much of my life on other people's terms. I ain't doing it no more. I ain't doing it no more. I ain't doing it no more. All right, let me get through these questions. I'm not social. This is Tanya. I'm not social media savvy. And Tanya, we talked about this in the VIP group. I'm not social media savvy. I'm mainly on Facebook, and I follow some people on IG. How important is it to be on social media? That is so funny you asked this, Tanya, because we just talked about this in great detail at the mastermind. Can I reach my ideal client and build my clientele base without it? So I know all this frenzy around social media, right? But social media, in my experience, is not the sole all to all, right? It's not like you're never going to reach your clientele outside of social media. For one, I mean, I can tell you, social media is like the vein for getting for rapid growth. It is, because that's just face it. Just going referrals or organically, or walking around and making these like appearances in person, you're only one person. You got two legs. You cannot be in 50 states at one time. But guess what? On IG you can. I'm just saying. On IG you can. On Facebook you can. Running the ad you can. You could be all over. You could be everywhere, all at the same time. So the beauty of social media is it put more eyeballs on your business, right? It allows you to grow and scale at rapid times. But the other side that I still love about organic is, like, I had another young lady in the mastermind. She don't want to do all that. She want to be able corporate. She want to be able to land corporate gigs and be that person, right? That was not necessarily corporate, but just referrals alone was what saved my business in year one. I wasn't on no social media. I wasn't advertising anything. And when I was, it was like a $500 package. I ain't know no better, y'all. I ain't know no better. Charge it to my, he ain't my heart. I ain't know no better, right? I ain't know no better. But yeah, but that was what sustained my business, was referrals. So it's not to say you can't get in front of your ideal client, because even when I wasn't in this industry and I was in nursing, I loved my clientele, because it only took me to land one family, right? Once I landed that family. I was with them. I can't remember, even through my pregnancy, probably about I can't remember, maybe 2 years. I really can't remember. But they always referred me to other families, and guess what? Their family was set up in the same way. So it's like I always had great clients, simply because I wasn't advertising anything. I just was all referral based, and I was super busy. I always had a family. So it's not to say that you can't thrive and you can't survive, but if you're talking about scaling and growth, social media, social media. I'm trying to tell you, it's just you have a better likelihood of that happening on social media. So same way I said back in the masterminds, like, even if you're not prominent here now, because you guys really, I dibble and dabble with social media. I ain't gonna lie, because your girl be busy. You ask me what I'm doing, I'm busy. Like that TikTok. I'm trying to tell you, the girl be busy. So sometimes I don't see how people, it's a lot of work keeping up with this TikTok, and look, I ain't got time. You gotta keep looking and listening to the trending sounds. Like sometimes I go through my binges, like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna do it because it is fun. I like it, it's fun. But then other times I'm like, look, I got this stack of work need to be done. So sometimes with my stuff, because I'm still building. So even though I'm working a lot on my business now, I'm building out 2023, y'all. That's like January 2023. So it's like I'm building an infrastructure. You guys think I'm playing? I'm building the infrastructure for years to come. So I don't mind being busy right now because these are a lot of the learning. These are a lot of the techniques and strategies that I've learned, like I've recently learned. So every time I'm doing something, I am creating an actual I'm creating an actual whole SOP. I'm creating a whole, like, if I'm doing it now in January, okay, cool, boom, let's map this out for next year, January. So that way I am not constantly rolling the hamster wheel, doing the same thing, but then still starting from scratch. Your girl, I'm tired. I ain't doing it no more. I ain't doing that no more. So it's not only am I doing my processes for now, I'm doing my processes for next year. And like whatever that next event is, right? So it's like I'm killing two birds with one stone. So I don't mind doing it because right now it's me. I am the brand. So it's not like something I can hand off and like, all right, guys, this is what I need done. But guess what? I can next year. Okay. So Tanya, yes, we talked about that. Even if you're not ready to devote your time, just at least go get your names, go get your cyber real estate, go get your cyber home, and so you ain't got to worry about at least your name being taken. So when you want to go and claim it, guess what? You can. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is Facebook. I like switching these because my people be on YouTube now. That's where they be at. So let's switch. Let's put YouTube over here because that's where the guys are. There we go. Okay. So, can you explain the difference in a two-way and a four-way drape curtain? That's funny because that's actually, I could have probably put that on my YouTube video from this question. I don't remember, but that's on one of my videos that we got to create. So the main difference realistically, if you guys don't know, we recently added four-way stretch or four-way spandex, right, to our fabric. So the main difference is four-way stretch or spandex rather is a better quality blend, and it's stretch four ways. The main thing when I say two-way stretch and four-way stretch is because two-way stretch will only stretch two ways, meaning either sideways or long ways, depending on how you're cutting your drape. Four-way stretch it stretches everywhere. But with four-way spandex, it's a more quality, more durable type of fabric, and it's more or less like, so when it's two-way stretch, I'm trying to think of a type of two-way. I'm trying to think of a type of item. I can't think of one for two-way. It's what I would really think. It's like an article, a piece of clothing, but it's really lightweight. It's a really inexpensive piece of fabric. It's like, I think two-way stretch has really taken off because I want to say, because I really want to say, because I haven't seen it take off like that until I started playing with it. I'm trying to just be honest, because I kept having difficulty. I ended up doing this because I kept having some difficulty working with some people in class that really couldn't just grasp different textures such as the satin. Like a lot of people was having difficulty with satin. Some people was having difficulty with poly. So it's like, I know most guys will want an immediate result. So stretch, I've introduced that, or not, I didn't introduce it, but I start playing with it in my classes, right? And just every time I would design, I would use stretch because it was an easy way to create tutorials and to teach people even when they weren't in class. Like I could create a tutorial and tell you how to play with stretch because it don't really require anything. It's not a technical thing. Whereas though when you're using the other blends we use, like, yeah, you got to learn these techniques. Otherwise, it's going to look like you don't know what you're doing. Stretch, you can't really get it wrong. And the thing with spandex is a more premium fabric, but spandex has a little more sheen to it. It just looked bomb. It looked bomb. So we just added spandex to ours. The only thing I could say I don't like about spandex, and that's because I am the supplier, and I'm not the consumer, it's because it's heavier. The sucker is heavier to carry around. It costs more to ship, but that's the only thing I can say I don't like about it. That's just because, I'm the supplier. But I love spandex because it's a more durable fabric. It drapes much better than two-way stretch, and it gives you a sheen. Some spandex is matte, but then some spandex is shiny, but it's just a better blend. and it's heavier. Like when you guys get into the GSMs and understand the weights of your fabric, it makes a difference, right? That's why fabrics cost different amounts, because it don't cost hardly nothing for me to ship a piece of stretch as opposed to me shipping a velvet. Like that's heavy fabric. So you got to that's when I said earlier about pricing out a product versus a service. That's how you come up with the price. But a service is a lot more involved. How do you find fabric locally? Rhonda, that was Rhonda's question. So I kind of answered this. I told you guys all the time. I even talked about this the other day. Get your butts up, get off of online, and go into your local fabric store. All you gotta do is use Google. Google will tell you everything, right? Use Google. Go into your local, your mom and pop stores. Now, I wouldn't really go to the big textile companies because a lot of those companies are used to just different, more premium fabric, but it's for like actual interior draping, or there are a lot of those textiles are expensive. But when it comes to draping like backdrops, you can find some amazing stuff in your local little mom and pop stores. I went to the fabric store the other day because I'm now in the tour. I'm gonna implement a lot more prints. I showed y'all that last week. I went to the fabric store, the local fabric store, and was able to find them. Now, sometimes when you go to the mom and pop stores, you can look up, and I told you I'll go all the way in the back. Go all the way in the back where you see the little cardboard signs hanging down that say $2, $3. You got to get used to familiarizing yourself with textured fabric, like knowing what you can manipulate in your hands better. Because now what I'm doing, like we're playing with even more textures of fabric, right? But at the end of the day, it's really, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I classify fabric in 3 different ways, right? So if you guys know my 3-zone method, anything I touch, anything I do is going to fall in one of those 3 zones. So that way, that teaches you what to buy and where to put it. So yeah, go into your local stores, go into your local mom and pop stores, and then go like in the back and see what they have. Sometimes they just have a table full of stuff, and they don't know what we could do. We make some amazing stuff. They don't know. So it's like sometimes if it ain't selling in their store, they'll just throw it to the back. But guess what? One man's trash is another man's treasure. So I advise you to get your butt up the mall and go see what you can find. All right. That was about the seminar. No, that was about this. Okay, that was all about the seminar. Okay, that was the same questions. All right, so let me see what did I miss over here, guys? I answered that one, Angie. Was that Karen's question? Question about sequin. The last time I tried sewing sequin fabric, it messed up my sewing machine. Do you pin or iron the pocket rods? Now, I don't. No, I don't. I'm trying to think that I pin it in the beginning. I don't think I pinned sequin, because sequin for me, once I lay it, because it has a little, it has a little density to it. Once you lay it, it's kind of there. Like if it was something like satin or a taffeta, then yeah, I normally would pin mine after I iron it. But now we don't even do that now. We just put it on the sewing machine and get it. Get the raw pocket in there. So if you're popping your machine or anything like that, it could possibly be your settings. Or one thing I've noticed when I was running into that problem, I kept busting needles. I was like, what in the world is going on? But my needle would bend. So it was like a little piece that kind of bent my needle. And then when I had to go and do some FBI stuff, but I found out it was like a little piece down on my pressure foot. On my feeder, whatever it's called, and it would bend my needle. So I kind of had to get that fixed. But other than that, I haven't had any problem with my sequin. I haven't. Hey, Monica. See you Monday, Monica. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, Priscilla. All right, so let me go over here on YouTube. Let me see what I miss over here. Tavana. I know I saw something. The new spring colors. I answered that. You put it on the map. What you talking about, Keisha? What's your opinion? Tavana, okay. What's your opinion on being a vendor at bridal shows to showcase premium draping? Go. So it kind of differs for me. So I haven't done, what did I think I probably did one. Like where I actually set up a backdrop, right? I think I probably did one. But for me, because I knew what my price point was at the time, I think if I was still like in the bargain basement Betty phase, I wouldn't have cared because I to book the backdrop. Like, look, baby, what I could give you, right? That's the attitude I had. But now that ain't my attitude. And at this time, I think that wasn't my attitude, which kind of made it. It was I didn't like it because normally at these bridal shows they shopping around, right? They shop well the ones I was going to. They were shopping around for most of them was looking for free stuff and they just was looking for ideas because then they'll take these ideas home and try and do them there. So I can say in my, but I've only done that one. I never did another one because I didn't like the experience. But what I would do is I would still go. Now I wouldn't sit there and rent out a booth and do all that rigmarole. I wouldn't because I knew I had the value in my hand. Baby, this what you're looking for? Go on that website. I got it for you. I'm trying to tell y'all, your girl ain't got time to waste a lot of time. So what I do is I strategize, and I know if I have something tangible that they can see, and they can go and do the research, and I got a lot of value on my website or things like that. Like I'm Googleable. You can go see what I could do. As the likelihood of me then getting bookings was greater for me. Some people do the setups, and I haven't really heard the stories of where they had great turnouts and great people booking. I had, but one thing I can say, but this was different. It wasn't at a bridal show where I was looking for brides. When I did, at first I was like, I did the investment of I WedCon. Wait a minute, what is it called? Wed MBA, wedding MBA. And I already knew going in, I wasn't looking for brides because I don't drape, right? But I was looking for students. So that for me was one of a great investment because not only was I able to get new students, I had people sign up for the virtual program right then and there. I had people sign up for the draping tour right then and that day. But then I also was able to build relationships with people that wanted me to come and like whole team, like because that's what they do. They do wedding design. So they wanted me to come and opened me up to different opportunities. But I think you have to have your strategy going in. Like I don't open my eyes unless I know what I'm opening them up for. I'm trying to tell you. As long as I know they moving, like they could blink a little bit, I know I'm alive. Then I ain't opening them unless I know I'm going what I'm gonna do. And it just saves me a lot of frustration, right? Because if I went there with a different intention and it didn't turn out, it's like, okay, then I would like, I ain't doing this no more. The same way I did that bridal show. But then when I went, I was like, well, it's really a lot of potential in this room, but I just don't want to do the labor part of it. Like y'all think I'm playing. I don't like working hard. I don't. This girl is too smart to be working that hard. So like doing it that way for me, it worked. Not to say I did a lot, but I was able to get new clients that I wouldn't have got. I'm not a heavy promoter, but I just wanted to be in that space. Not only that, I also wanted to get ideas from what other people was doing in case I wanted to do it. So that's pretty much how I do things. Like a lot of stuff I do now, I don't know how to do it. Like I don't know how to run this fabric store or e-commerce. I know, but I'm just going to do it. I'm gonna figure it out. The people going to tell me what they like, what they don't like, and we just going to tweak it as we go. And even like now doing masterminds and doing retreats, I ain't do that before. But guess what? I'm just going to do it. And then I'm going to connect with somebody that does it greatly so that I can have some kind of guidance. And as I'm going through the thing, I am now creating my future on what is going to be looking like the next year. So I think it's good if you have a strategy behind it, right? If you're just going and you're like, I'm just hoping I'm landing somebody. I just want somebody to book me, somebody pick up my card, and that's the wrong mindset to have going into anything like that, right? Because you're making an investment. Y'all know me. I don't spend one coin unless I got what? Y'all gonna say it. I know in the comments. Tell me in the comments. And that's just that just for me, it minimizes my frustration. And it minimizes the likelihood of just me not being successful in that thing. So you got to leave some room of error. But I think when you mentally go into things like that and you already know what you want out of it, your body and your mental thoughts or whatever is going to start working towards that goal. So like me, I'm not a talker. I know y'all think I am. But baby, put me in a room with a bunch of people. I'm just, that's just me. I'm real low key. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? I don't know why, but that's just me. But that's just how I am. And like, I'm just kind of like, if I know I'm that's why I haven't really gone to a lot of networking events because I'm just not that's just not what I do. But if I know I'm going, I have to have an intention. Like, all right, I'm going, and my intention is to connect with 10 people. right? That's mentally now that I'm prepared to. All right, Pressure, you know you don't really do a lot of talking. You got to say something. So I'm mentally preparing myself to help me reach my goal. So by the time I left, hopefully I met more than 10, but at least I met my 10. Even when I have my class, it's like, all right, my goal is 10. I know I can serve 10 people and everybody get a piece of what they came for and in a really great positive way, right? So I already know, okay, cool, I got to walk around, I got pace, I got to look at everybody. I already know that anything outside of that, I'm like, no, I think I'll be doing a disservice to me and I'll be doing a disservice to anybody in class. So it's like setting your intention. And then no matter what it is, I think at the end of the day, mentally and everything else that falls behind that is going to help you achieve that goal. I hope that answered your question. I hope that answered your question. Tavana, what should we talk about the mystery box? Wait a minute. Brandy G, customer service. I wonder why this name look like that. Brandy G, why that name sound familiar? Customer service is key for client retention. Precious is the best. She be trying. She be trying. Well, she be trying. So I got an announcement to make for you guys next week. One thing that we are adding here at the Posture Academy, because one thing I'm noticing, I'm not in here a lot, especially now that we're going to be on tour. And one thing is, I definitely want to be able to have a dedicated support team, right? Dedicated. So I'm going to be making an announcement to you guys next week about that. I'm super excited about that because I just be on the go. I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes y'all be catching me and y'all be like, somebody today, she probably be on this live, I don't know. But she be like, is this Precious Stevens? I'm like, no, this is her. And honestly, that's only because I had a Zoom lined up. I was trying to fix my little ponytail. And I know most times when people catch me on that phone, it ends up into a 10-minute conversation. So I was like, I really got to go, but I'm not sounding rude. I just was like, no, this isn't her. So I got to get a dedicated phone line for here. Okay. I answered that one. Spill the tea, girl. Keep you a trip. Your cheekbones look so side note. Thank you, Brandy girl. They all scratched up, but they cute though. Hello, Podge family. Hey, Andrea. People skills are a must. People skills are a must. I don't know what that was for, but it's real. It is. It's real. Vera say, oh my God, my first live. Vera, turn that notification on bell on bull. And you guys over here on YouTube, you can really help this video out. It really helps the algorithm. At the end of the day, I am not the type of person that beg for likes, but YouTube is good to me. It really is. So you guys can help YouTube be even better to me. So I can come on here with you guys more by just liking the video. So all you gotta do is give it 2 thumbs up. And guess what? When I see them thumbs go, I'm like, okay, they like my company. Let's go out for a date next week.